Okay, running.
Hi, my name is Craig Verzone. I'm an architect, I'm a landscape architect, urban designer, and today I'd like to present in the next few minutes the urban agricultural park of Geneva, located between the communes of Bernex-Confignon. It's a park idea that's under development. The park itself is a 9-hectare park divided between 6 hectares of public infrastructure and 3 hectares of professional farm, which include a market, restaurant, and farm infrastructure, as well as an apartment for the farmer or the farming family. The aim of this park is to preserve a large swath of land, open space, to create a public park, to create a window for the local farmers and their local products, as well as to integrate systemically this idea of public space as well as professionally productive space. Regarding the timeline, the idea of the project was born somewhere around 2011 by an individual or group that I'm not familiar with, but really set off a series of events and actions that are put in place to create this park. The whole project itself is really following a land use policy that insists upon a kind of management of the overall urban terrain. What's interesting to note is that the idea catalyzed the creation of an unlikely group of collaborators, including the Department of Agriculture, Environment, Transportation. They came together to oversee a competition that brought in individual actors through design research who came up with 49 different possibilities for this park, real intensive design research. One project was picked, which was the project from our office, which created a vision, which itself set a kind of agenda, a formal sort of physical agenda for the evolution of the park. Within this zone, this group that was associated to oversee the competition, they sort of re-established themselves as a group. They brought in, exchanged some members, as a group that needed to check the regulatory measures and to see that the farm was in fact, and the public space was in fact, what the interpretation of this land use strategy was dictating. Because within these large policies, there's lots of interpretations. One of the things that we tried to tease out to understand here was what levels of tools we can use. Number one, we have these big policies that are hard to change, but below that, there's all the interpretations of policies, and I think that's where sort of urban agriculture can start to manipulate. Below that, there are kind of agendas that are established along these interpretations and following their actions. And so we see those 4 major tools as ways at which we can manage policy. The project is evolving. It's now 2014. This land use policy has changed slightly, which puts in question with these sort of decision to be made. Is it a good project with the new land use? Is this master plan for the whole region a good master plan? And so there's questions that are coming in play which create some kind of a conflict, with a rupture within this scene. At the same time, we have a new council member who appreciates urban agriculture, but who does not appreciate the this way the master plan interpreted the land use policy. So there's a new land use policy that's put in place. And so the series of moments indicate sort of, is it going to go forward, is it going to go back? Key decision-making moments. At this time, an association is getting put together in order to create the bylaws or an agenda for the farm. That association will then look for the farming team in order to interpret the bylaws, and they create their own course of action. This course of action is going to invite or not invite, by this symbol here, community gardens, other gardeners, and an interaction with the public. At the same time, this project vision tries to remain rather stable between the interpretation of this land use master plan and these new users that are getting put in place, as well as the interlocutors that include an association that's mixed between individuals as well as between institutional representatives, and the representatives themselves that are just making sure that the interpretation from these bigger bylaws and master plans are being met.
Good. That's a
Thank you.
good conclusion.